Hey man, about to jump into this, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment this video, follow on the socials in the description below. Let's talk about episode 16 of Mushoku Tensei now. What is going on, everybody? It's Rock D. Lee, man. Just wanted to talk. Well, first of all, before we go into this scene, I'm actually gonna go back a little bit, right? I'm gonna go back a little bit because I was doing some research earlier, right? Yeah. See this scene right here? See this scene right here? So the reason why it stood out to me because I was watching how Rudis was, using his he was trying to see something, right? And I don't understand if he was trying to see like a little slip, a slip up, or I never thought this is like the perfect eye for him because he's a perv. And then not only does he get to see a pair, he literally sees quadruples, pairs of 6. No, that doesn't make sense. 6 pairs, whatever. However much sight he can get, this man will have infinite jiggles in front of him. And I was like, this is actually the perfect thing for this guy. Of course he's gonna be so excited, But anyways, enough with that. I wanted to talk about Paul real quick. I'm very curious to know who you sided with in regards to Paul and Rudis. And I also want to know if you're a parent. Because I'm curious to know how being a parent can potentially affect or cause bias. And it's not a good thing or a bad thing, right? For me, it's clear that Paul was on the wrong side of this interaction. Both had fantastic points. They were both reasonable. But going into this, seeing Paul's composure and Rudy's composure, I am heavily in Rudy's favor. Now, people have said things like, the reason why Paul is like that is because from a young age, Rudis, showed great intelligence and all that other stuff. And again, I want to know, are you a parent? Are you a parent when you make this statement? Are you a parent as you make this argument? And by the way, whether you are or not, I'm not actually saying you're right or wrong. But I am very curious to know how many parents will agree with Paul on this one. I am very curious because I just don't think that many parents would agree with Paul. I think a lot of people who, quite the opposite, don't have kids are going to side with Paul. Okay? Yeah, that's how I'm thinking. And again, because I've posted this on Twitter, and this is where I even got my built up, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a video about it. Because people will say, well, I don't have to be a parent to understand. And I go like this, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just not. Because who am I to say what type of experiences you need, right? To make an informed opinion. 1 second. But yeah, I'm not gonna judge you. I am actually in my head, right? But I know logically, from a logical point of view, you just don't say to people because you're not a parent. I'm not going to listen to you. I know that you can't say that to people. But it's very similar to the notion that, women will often say, or groups of women will also say, men should not make policies that affect a female's body. Okay, because y'all are not women. Of course, men do it. A bunch of politicians go around dictating what women should do with their bodies. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's the argument that you hear. If you're not of this particular group, we don't expect your opinions to align with ours. And that's really what the bare minimum is. The bare minimum is, so when I say the whole parental thing, I said, are you a parent as you make this opinion? It's not about being right or wrong. I'm just curious because I'm like, yeah, I expect parents to align a certain way. If you're not a parent, you could be as logical as you want, but I just don't expect you to align with my thought process, and that's fine, okay? What it also does is it lets me know how far on a particular side or what connections we have, right? Before we can even have an argument, all right? Because one of the things that you do when people are of opposing ideas, you try to find out where are the similarities in values. Where are we? What do we have in common? Once you understand what we have in common, then you can make arguments from those points, because we already agree on these things. So here are different perspectives. But if you and I don't even have the same values or the same life experiences, it's gonna be very hard to make an argument or try to persuade you, because there's certain things that you need to experience, and even vice versa, right? That's literally why people go to school, or, you know, in order to do surgery, you have to have, like, you know, X amount of years of residency in the medical field. You need a certain amount of experience to even understand something. And there's a difference between reading it in a textbook and having practical knowledge of it. You know, that's generally what it is. Again, sometimes people, like, there's gynecologists that are dudes. They don't have a vagina, and I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but they might be the best at gynecology. It's out there. So that's my thoughts. But yeah, I kind of ranted long, but going right back to it, the reason why, among everything else, I supported Rudy over Paul is really mostly was due to Paul's drunkenness, from what I get. If I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. But seeing his movements, I think this guy is drunk. He completely let himself go. And then he's talking to his son as a drunkard. It's already done. The very moment you're in a position that you're scolding your child drunk, I can't really respect you like that. I can't respect. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to drink, but it's just like, dude, you're not even in your right mind frame. If anything, Rudis is just wrong because he wasn't drinking, and from a logical point of view, he couldn't be the bigger man in this situation where he's not intoxicated and Paul is intoxicated. So like, dude, I'm not even going to entertain you. You're drunk. That's the only way I would side with Rudy. If Rudy would just say, yeah, you're drunk, bro. I can't even have a conversation with you, you know? But you the drunk parent in this. Rudy was in jail for like months or weeks, and he made the best of his situation. Rudy has shown that you put him in a bad situation, for the most part, he remains optimistic and he perseveres. That's part of the reason why Paul got upset, because he heard the story and he didn't hear it from the negative point of view. My homie Rudy just makes the best, and he's generally optimistic because his life before wasn't necessarily that great either. So he's just happy to have a couple shawties. Paul don't know that. So that's the viewer's perspective. But yeah, I get it. You know, the delivery from Rudy, Paul was like, yo, you were happy? That's what you were doing all this time? But yeah, look at this face. Let me do it again. Look at this face. This is a drunkard. You see? Drunk. That's why, in my opinion, I can't rock with this guy in this occasion. And here's the thing. Historically, since knowing Paul, you know, he's kind of been, I don't want to say like a big kid. He's like a teenager, man. Like a high school jock is how I've been perceiving Paul. So I'm like, yeah, Rudy has been wiser as a kid, but Rudy should never have been on a level where we can talk to Paul as an equal. For the most part. It should never have been that case, you know? So from the beginning of time, you know, interacting with Paul, yo, Paul's a cool dude. Like, he's a cool friend. Like, yo, you're in good shape. You got these two baddies around you. Hey, good for you, man. You're cool. But he's still that friend that you got to talk to. Hey, yo, you have a good wife. Why are you with the maid? Hey, you have a good son. Why the heck are you having this kind of confrontation with them? Relax. That's also the same kind of talks that Paul should get. So that's my opinion. Just wanted to put it out there. Let me know what you guys think. All opinions are respected, but I'm in the business of content creation and sharing my thoughts because that's what I do for a living. Weird, right? Anyways, I appreciate you guys for checking it out. If you guys made it this far in the video, go ahead and drop a sub to this channel. Does a lot for us in terms of growth and whatnot. If you want to hear some more stuff, and hey, man, I'll kick it back with you guys every now and then when I got a passionate opinion to share with you guys. So until next time, follow on Twitter, because that's what inspired me to even make this video. Rock D Lee, I'm out. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, guys? Your boy Rocklee. Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a follow on this Twitch channel. Appreciate you guys' support.
Janet.